Hi and welcome to my review of The Goodies, the complete BBC collection. Today we're up to A Kick in the Arts. Trying to raise funds for the British Olympic team lands Tim in jail and then somehow in the Olympics. But can Britain win the Olympics when the rest of the world is represented only by Bill and Graeme? Some highlights in this episode for me included a patriotic speech for once not being performed by Tim. In this case, it's Ballard Berkeley doing the honours. I did enjoy the masked shot putter and I thought it had definite shades of the Masked Scout. Unfortunately, that annoying music is back in this episode and it's still annoying. I noticed that Tim looks super fit in this episode and he does a lot of running and athletic stuff. When you think about it, I guess they all must have been pretty fit, considering all the running and physical comedy they did throughout the series. I really loved Graeme's Australian accent and tie. He does a sensational Australian accent. One detail I thought was brilliant in this one was having David Hockney as one of the judges of the diving contest. And I'm sure some viewers will appreciate the sight of Bill in his weightlifting outfit. And I feel like I've got to address this here because I've seen contemporary newspaper articles that refer to Bill as being fat. He does not look fat at all here. I'm wondering if this was like 70s fat. You know what I mean? Like everyone was so scrawny in TV shows back then that when you're not scrawny, you're considered fat. Also important to remember that Bill does not have the long, lean build of Tim and Graeme. He's just a more stocky type of guy. But seeing him here in the weightlifting scene, I think puts paid to any suggestion of him being overweight. He looks great. I also really loved the wrestling scene with Barbara Cartland. That was beautifully done. One of the biggest highlights of this one, I thought, was Graeme's bullfighting style appendectomy. It is such a clever comedy concept and it is executed so well. I also liked the bizarre Benny Hill style ending and the fact that it has a real surprise twist to it. This episode's guest stars included Ballard Berkeley, familiar to fans of Fawlty Towers, and also series regulars Roland Macleod and Norman Mitchell. Now, I felt this episode was a little bit strange coming in the position that it does in the series. Very late in the series among a lot of really sensational episodes. It does kind of have the feel of a script from much earlier in the series. I thought this episode seemed like a bit of a mashup between Scatty Safari, Winter Olympics and Goodies in the Nick. It does feel like a little bit of an unfocused story and it does rely, I think, a little bit too much on those filmed physical comedy segments. These segments really seem to take up most of the episode. I felt it was entertaining but much less engaging than the stories that have a stronger narrative running through them. And for me, many of its elements seemed already familiar from previous stories, the episodes that I've mentioned. When you consider the ambitious scope and story-wise of a lot of the stories around this episode, it does kind of feel like a throwback, and I almost wondered if it was perhaps a discarded script from an earlier season that they'd reworked. I don't know. I think if you enjoy the more chaotic feeling episodes, you'd probably enjoy this one more than I did. But I did find this one a bit unsatisfying despite it having some good moments in it. As I mentioned in the last video I did, I don't have strong memories of this episode and I wonder if it's because the story isn't that strong. So here we are with only 3 episodes to go and these are all episodes that I remember as being really strong. Let's see if they can finish out their BBC series on a high note. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you'll join me next time when we move on to You Friend or You Foe. I'll see you then. Bye.